News now at 4. People across the DMV on edge as we wait to see if there will be a government shutdown.
We're just in a state of chaos, of trying to figure out what business will look like day to day.
What new details we're learning.
After one last cloudy day today, things are going to start to clear up tonight. We'll let you know how that could affect our temperatures going into the second half of the week.
Then, 2 firefighters charged following a flooding at a baseball field over the summer. What led up to that incident and what's next for the 2 involved?
Cleaning up the Anacostia River, how advocates say a bottle deposit bill can help push back on pollution.
And AI is popping up in so many places, including at your job. How a company is making sure your workplace is reshaping and adapting.
You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us for DC News Now here at 4. I'm Annalisa Gale. Mark Hall has the evening off. Well, our top story, we're waiting to see if lawmakers will avert a government shutdown. Now, taking a live look at the Capitol as tonight's midnight cutoff for a deal is now fast approaching. And if lawmakers don't cut a deal in time, that shutdown takes effect almost immediately, which would mean that the economic impacts of a shutdown will be felt right away. DC News Now's Randy Bass joining us live along 14th Street Northwest with what this could mean for local businesses. Good afternoon, Randy.
Yes, the countdown is on, but just a few hours before that big midnight deadline tonight, and lawmakers on the Hill are not looking likely to cut a deal. Meantime, though, businesses in other parts of D.C. are already preparing for what a possible shutdown could mean for their bottom line. Today, President Donald Trump looking ahead at what could be coming to Washington at midnight tonight.
They are shutting it down. We're not shutting it down. We don't want it to shut down because we have the greatest period of time ever.
With lawmakers still at a stalemate.
We'll probably have a shutdown. We can do things during the shutdown that are irreversible.
What could be the first government shutdown in years, coming at the same time as possible federal layoffs or reductions in force. That shutdown could come amid tough times for DC's struggling hospitality scene. Data from Open Table shows more recent decline in restaurant reservations over the last 3 weeks.
We're just in a state of chaos, of trying to figure out what business will look like day to day.
At Cork Wine Bar on 14th Street, Khalid Pitts says the last few months have been tough to navigate.
Whether you talk about the initial federal layoffs, the issues for small businesses, particularly hospitality, the issues with tariffs and the increase in tariffs, the increase in labor costs, and the presence of federal troops and National Guards on our streets. So we're already sort of surfing under, or existing under, unprecedented conditions.
Pitts says the looming shutdown and impending layoffs could spell more trouble for business.
If it doesn't happen, we'll be thankful, but it doesn't relieve the impact of the other economic strains that are happening on us.
Of course, those economic impacts not entirely felt yet. The shutdown, of course, does not become official until after midnight tonight. Until then, all eyes are on Capitol Hill. On 14th Street, I'm Randy Bass, DC News Now.
All right, Randy, thank you. And taking a live look at Reagan National now, where U.S. airlines are warning Congress that the potential government shutdown could delay flights. Air traffic controllers and TSA employees would work without pay, and some systems may need to slow down, reducing efficiency and impacting departure and arrival times. DC News Now's Rashad Hudson will have a full report on the shutdown potential impacts coming up on DC News Now at 4:30. All right, turning over to your forecast with meteorologist Damon Matson. A first look here on this Tuesday. Damon, still cloudy out there, but hey, at least it's dry.
Yeah, many of us aren't seeing a drop of that rainfall despite how gloomy it continues to look. But really, the lack of rainfall is a sign of sorts that we are not going to be stuck with these gloomy conditions for very much longer. But as we wrap up the day today, not much is really going to change. Where we did have just a little bit of rainfall, you see the stripe of green right here down toward parts of central Virginia, even all the way over into southern Maryland. We've had just some occasional light showers through Lexington Park Park, back over to Fredericksburg, and then even into Culpeper, Orange, and Madison counties there. But that's about it. Everybody farther north not seeing a single drop. And really, as we move ahead into the evening and the overnight hours, all of this cloud cover that's being brought up to the north from nearby Hurricane Imelda, well, notice the direction it's starting to go. A little bit off to the east. Both of the hurricanes, Imelda and Humberto, they're going to start to pull away as we head into the night tonight. There is a front dropping down from the north that's also going to help clear out those tropical systems. And as that front starts to roll in, we'll start to notice some clearing skies. But again, it will not happen during the daylight hours here this evening. As we head toward the middle of the night, that's when some of the most substantial clearing takes place. And then we're looking at a good amount of sunshine on our Wednesday. Now, despite the return of that sunshine, should we be ready for some crisp, more typical fall temperatures? We'll have a full look at your forecast with that answer coming up here in just a bit.
Damon, thank you. In Prince George's County, a man has now been sentenced to 80 years in prison in connection to a double fatal shooting in 2023. Christopher Jenkins was convicted of 2 counts of first-degree murder. The victims have been identified as 23-year-old Xavier Matthews and 26-year-old Karan Moore. The two were killed at a Super 8 motel in Camp Springs in June after officials say there was a planned robbery. And developing now, earlier today, a crash involving an overturned garbage truck was causing some delays in Bethesda. It happened near Bradley Boulevard this morning, sometime shortly after 11 a.m. No word on potential injuries there. Roadways have reopened at this hour. Well, more than 100 speed cameras and dozens of red light cameras may be coming to a street near you. It's a huge push by Montgomery County to crack down on safety issues on its roads there. DC News Now's Kevon Dupree covering the county for us. He has more on how much more you will pay if you're caught.
In all, Montgomery County is adding more than 200 traffic cameras along some of its most problematic roadways. Those who are caught speeding will likely feel a bigger blow to their wallets.
I believe it's doing more hurt than it is good, because that is limiting the amount of accidents.
I can say they're effective because I get more than my fair share at a couple of intersections.
That's how some people already feel about traffic cameras in Montgomery County. County Executive Mark Elbert says it's adding 140 speed cameras and 76 red light ones to the existing network.
We know that speed cameras save lives. An independent evaluation of the police's speed camera program found that cameras lower driver speed and they lower injuries.
Some people are skeptical.
I guess to me it depends on where they're doing it, and is it really a safety need or is it just a revenue?
If anything, it's just a money grab. But you know, I respect those who are pulling in their profit from it.
The cameras will be placed on some of the county's most dangerous roads and at its most dangerous intersections.
The bottom line is, this is a step towards making our roads safer.
If you're caught speeding, your ticket may be higher than before. Instead of the $40 flat rate, the faster you go, the higher the fine.
We're going after people with a, frankly, blatant disregard for laws and regulations that make our roadways safe. It is a privilege, not a right, to be on this road, and if you are going to abuse that privilege, you are going to pay for it, because the cost to our community is lives.
And the increased fines for speeding go into effect October 1st. In Montgomery County, I'm Kevon Dupree, DC News Now.
Kevon, thank you. Well, new today, President Donald Trump and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth gathering hundreds of top officials there. And we know that and this happened, military officials today in Northern Virginia, both declaring an end to what they are calling, quote, woke culture in the military. Hegseth also announced new directives, including gender neutral standards for fitness tests, and told military leaders if they don't like the new approach that they should resign.
Rip out the politics. No more identity months, DEI offices, dudes in dresses. Frankly, it's tiring to look out at combat formations, or really any formation, and see fat troops. Likewise, it's completely unacceptable to see fat generals and admirals in the halls of the Pentagon.
Hegseth also says he is loosening disciplinary rules and weakening hazing protections. Well, also new today, President Trump announcing that American cities should be used as training grounds. Now, we know he signaled today to military leaders that Democratic-led cities could see federal interventions, and he added that, quote, defending the homeland was the military's most important priority.
Running it based on common sense and based on love of our country. But I want to salute every service member who has helped us carry out this critical mission. It's really a very important mission. And I told Pete we should use some of these dangerous cities as training grounds for our military, National Guard, but military. Because we're going into Chicago very soon. That's a big city with an incompetent governor, stupid governor. I put that out the other day. You got to do what you got to do because we don't want our people hurt.
Over the weekend, the National Guard reported over 2,300 troops remained in D.C. Other cities that have seen National Guard units include Memphis, Portland, and Chicago, as you just heard there. Right now, National Guard troops have National Guard troops already being deployed in the district and Memphis as well in an effort to cut down on crime there. Well, in the district now, the D.C. Council looking to reduce pollution by trying to stop pollution before it even starts. The proposal is called the Bottle Deposit Bill. D.C. News Now's Marielle Carbone has more from the Anacostia River.
Advocates say that plastic bottles make up 60% by weight of trash floating out here in the Anacostia River. It's an issue they say this bottle deposit bill can help fix. On the banks of the Anacostia River,
orange bottle cap, there's a Gatorade.
Plastic bottles litter the brush line.
This is a clean day.
Trey Sherrod is the Anacostia River keeper and says prevention is the biggest reducer of pollution.
These bottles, they come right back. The solution is not getting bottles out of water. The solution is to keep bottles from going on the ground in the first place.
It's what Councilmember Brianna Nadeau is trying to do.
The majority of what we see even out in the neighborhoods when we're out picking up litter is plastic bottles.
Nadeau introduced the Recycling Refund and Litter Reduction Amendment Act back in January. If passed, it places a 10-cent deposit on beverage containers sold in D.C. That money is refunded when an empty bottle is returned. The first public hearing is on Wednesday.
People don't throw away things that are valuable to them, and by making the bottles worth 10 cents when they're returned, people are not going to be throwing them on the ground. Or let's say someone does, someone else is going to pick them up.
Not everyone is on board. Several D.C. breweries, as well as industry leaders, are pushing back. In a statement, the Food Marketing Institute saying implementing the proposal would also increase costs for consumers and businesses and risk fiscal burdens for the district.
Bottle bills do not increase the cost to consumers.
Nadeau pushing back. She also says small businesses 2,000 square feet and under will not be required to collect or redeem bottles.
Our community deserves to be clean, and this is the way we do it, by ensuring that the people who've been polluting our communities all these years are the ones responsible for cleaning it up.
And the public hearing is set for 10:30 on Wednesday. More than 200 people are signed up to testify. Reporting in Southeast D.C., I'm Marielle Carbone, D.C. News Now.